Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. How have you guys been? How is the project treating you? I hope you are still keeping up. Please do, because it's rewarding at the end of the day. Okay, today we'll be looking at a topic 0 times 03 Python data structure lists tuples. Okay, as usual, at the description box of this video there is a Google document. There is a link to a Google document where you can access it and you get the codes of all of these tasks and how you are going to do them. So follow through to the end and I'll show you every single thing that you need to do in order not to get an error when you having to deal with checker and have some of your codes checked just in order for you to get the full marks that this stuff just has to give you. Okay, all right. So to start with, we're using git bash for this project. You know how we do it with cd whenever we're here in order to get to the root, and then we ls just to make sure we are there. You are going to be working with a repository called ALX Higher Level Programming. But before then, let us go to the project and see the requirements that is there. Resources are provided for you to go through, read through, and observe whatever is being taught on this. It's very important that you go through them to get more knowledge of what is said on this project. You are actually advised to go online and search for resources just in case this one isn't enough, of which sometimes I believe you actually need to go online to search for more resources, watch YouTube videos, go to channels, and actually get understand what this thing is actually talking about. If you are on our channel and you are subscribed, you get notifications when we post videos regarding these topics and how we explain them in total. Okay, so that being said, let's move on. The requirements for this project is you need to have your VI, your Vim, and your Emacs text editors to get everything that is needed to be done here. Remember your shebang code. This is going to be at the beginning of each of your files, each of your Python scripts that you're going to be writing. Okay. That being said, your code need to be Betty compliant, they need to be neat, they need to be structured, so that it shows that you are professional and you know what you are doing. Okay, you need to have a main.c, you need to have a list.h containing your prototypes in all of these things. All right. Remember your quiz. Just for some of us that are having it difficult, these are the answers to the quiz for this project. This is just so you go through your quiz, okay? It's actually a bit lengthy, but do what to go through them to get your quiz all correct. Alright, once we're here, what's the next thing to do is to start attending to our tasks. Okay, first of all, you remember we'll be working with this repository, ALX high level programming. There's a repository you've already cloned and it's present here. So what do we do here? We just need to cd into this repo ALX low level ALS higher level programming. Okay, so after that is done, what's the next thing to do? We need to create this directory here, 0 times 03 Python data structure. We know how to create a directory. What is that? mkdir will create the directory. Okay, oh sorry, my mistake here. mkdir, and we put in the name of the directory that we want to create. It's going to tell me that this file already exists because I already created it inside this repository. So in this case, after you create the repo, you have to cd into that repo. So what do? Cd into this repository, click OK. Alright, and once this is done, the next thing we need to do here, we need to ls. In this case, in my case, I will need to lx, but in your case, you need to start creating the files that are meant to be inside this directory. Okay, so like I always say, the files that you need to create has to start with your readme. The readme has to be in the root of every folder that you create. Every directory has to have a readme. The absence of that readme in any of your directory is just going to make checker just flood your page with red checks. Okay, so make sure you have your readme first, and then the file that contains all your prototype, which is the list.h, please make sure you create all of that. If I ls here, you see that I have all these files here. I have my readme here, okay, and I have my list.h here. There's this file link.c. Most of the time there's always a .c file that's in this project, so make sure you create that link underscore list.c, and make sure it is not executable. Just leave it unexecutable. The rest has to be executable. Any .c file you see like this 0 print python list info, it is a non-executable file. It's a C file. You see .c means it's a non-executable file in this case, so please leave it as non-executable and leave the rest as executable files. Okay, so in this case, make sure you create your readme first. How do you create your readme? We all know that it's just vi and then the name of the file, which is what? Readme.nd. Readme.md. Okay, when you click enter, this is the content of my readme here. You can decide to put anything you want in this place. Okay, it's not so much, it just describes what you are doing in that code. Alright, so just describe anything that you are doing inside this readme so that if you are not there, anybody that's looking at it is going to know exactly what you are doing. I have a list of all the codes here, so you see what is there. So just basically do whatever you want inside this readme. Okay, that being said, remember when you vi and press enter, it brings you to this edit page. If you want to edit, you click the letter I and then you see insert underneath here. This shows that you are in edit mode. It shows you are in edit mode. You can start editing whatever you want to edit. Once you are done, you click escape colon W and Q. Make sure that it's a small letter, okay? W and Q. You click OK. That saves and quits the edit mode. of your VI editor. Okay, that saves and quit the edit mode. So what's the next thing? Like I always say, please ensure to create your list.h that contains your prototype. So if I want to create my list.h, same method, vi list.h. Okay, I do that, list, remember the S, and then I click enter. Same method, I click I to edit, and you see the insert mode has been activated here. Then I edit whatever I want to edit in this place. Once I am done, I click my escape, colon W and Q. Alright, just a second, I click my escape, colon W and Q. That saves and quits and takes me back to this page here. Alright, you do the same thing for all of the files. All of the files. The first file you are to create here is the 0-print underscore list underscore integer.python. Okay, you click this file. Alright, like I said, the codes for this file are included in this Google document that is here. So if you see here, you have this. Alright, you have this, so you create it here. So you just vi and then you go into that. So if I vi here and I go into 0-print underscore list.py and I enter, you see that the code here is same as the code that I have in this description here. So you just do the same thing and then you are going to have the exact something that is there. So when you click escape W and Q, you escape it. Alright, so do not mind that name that is under that shebang code. That's the shebang code here. There is a name, it's just a repetition. It doesn't matter when you have it or you don't have it, it's still going to work. Alright, so you just copy whatever is here, alright, and put it in your code in your text editor there. Then you click OK, it's gonna work. It doesn't really matter. Okay, then the next thing what you do is to create the next file. What's the next file? At this point you're done with this file, okay, but just don't git add, git commit and git push so you don't start checking your code at this point. Alright, so the next one, you create this file, which is this file here, 1-element. Please also remember to create your main dot this thing file, this main.py. remember to create it, okay, in all of these files. Alright, so just create all of these files just the way that I have it in this Google document. 1-element, 1 main.py. Alright, 10 main.py. So there is a main.python code for every of these files that is created here. So remember just to add it to each of your files, alright, that is created here. I have all the codes here embedded for you, so just remember to add it up. Create all of these files so you don't have any single error when you are submitting your codes. Alright, okay, so after that is done, one important thing to do is to make sure you change all of these to executable files. Okay, so all of these files, make sure you change them to executable files. I already showed you how to do that. I'm showing you again here. You do your chmod, chmod, which is your change of mode, u plus x, and use the asterisk. Alright, sorry, space asterisk. Alright, this changes every single file from here all the way to the last one here. It changes every single file to executable, but mind you, there are some files that you have to leave as non-executable. If I click enter, it changes everything. Let me do that. Fine, and when I do ls here, it changes all of my files to executable. If I want to change it back to non-executable, what do? chmod u minus x. Remember we did plus x for the first one. U minus x. Then what do now? I put the name of the file that I want to be non-executable. Remember from here, this is non-executable, this is non-executable, this is non-executable, and this is non-executable. Every other thing apart from this four that I show you has to be executable. Okay, so go to readme .md. all right, when I click this, readme is non-executable. What's the next thing I need to do here? Linked underscore list dot c. Just 1 minute, there is no space in between them, so I have linked underscore list dot c. When I click enter, it is non-executable now. The next one I need to do is what? I will need to change my list.h into non-executable. Okay, alright, when I click enter, it becomes non-executable. Okay, the next thing, 100 print python, I will need to change that into non-executable too. Alright, so what do? I do this 100 python 100 dash print. When I do this and I click enter, this becomes non-executable. Alright, I click enter, it becomes non-executable. So when I ls now, you can see that all of these files now are what? They are non-executable files once again. Alright, so be sure to do this before you git add, git commit, and git push. So at this point, you are free to now git add, git commit, and git push. Once this is done successfully, you are good to go. Remember to create your main.python. All your main.python files, as you can see from here, I have each and every one of them. You might not see it from here, okay, but just be sure to create it. There's a reason for that. Okay, do that and then everything is going to check out 100% for you. Okay, so here I started with my zero main.python. Before I created this zero-print.list, this is the main.python file for it. And then for my one-element underscore at.python, this is the one main.python file for it. Alright, I made sure I created all of this for you so that you know exactly what you're doing. So create all of this and create your list.h, create your linked list.c, create your 100 print python underscore list underscore info.c. Make sure all these files are created. Do not forget your readme file. Create your readme file. Make sure all these files are present in your system before you git add, git commit, and git push. This is so that you don't have any problem when you are working. Alright, so at this point, I think we've come to the end of this solution video. Be sure to subscribe to our channel.